Hey guys, this video has been a long time coming, 1 week to be exact. That's because 1 week ago I was tagged by Devin from Backcountry Exposure to participate in a YouTube tag going around among some backpackers out there to name their top 5 favorite backpacking items. I'm a very indecisive guy when it comes to stuff like that, so as others have experienced, it's really hard to narrow down your 5 favorite items. So I looked at all my stuff and thought about what's most useful, what makes life easier on the trail or in camp, and I think I've narrowed down what my top 5 favorite things are. So let's get started. I'm gonna go with number 1. I'm gonna go with this Slingback chair that I made myself. It's actually consists of a couple items. I've got a little foam pad from Dutchware Gear. I think it weighs like 5 grams. And I used to just take this, but I would backpack with friends that would, take along these kinds of camp chairs. This collapsible portable chairs, another one right here. They're very comfortable, but they're also a little heavy, ranging from 1 to 2 pounds of extra weight in your pack. Definitely nice to have in camp for the back support, but is it worth the weight in the pack? I don't know. Obviously for my friends, some of my friends that carry them, they definitely enjoy them. My wife does too. She thinks it's worth the weight. So so I will still take these along now for like casual camps, short distance up the trail, and if we're gonna just hang out, lounge around camp a lot, then I think these are worth the wait myself too. But if I'm doing a multi-day hike, up and down a lot of steeper terrain, long distance, definitely want to lean toward the lightweight, ultralight area. So this is a little chair I made myself last year. Had some extra material, some sil nylon from another project I had done a while back, and so I took the extra material here and sewed this up, and then had some extra little vinyl, thicker cloth here to reinforce some little pockets I made here. And the way this works, as I've shown, and I think I've showed it off in a previous video, is I've got these little carbon fiber poles that I got, I think, from Z-Packs, one of those ultralight cottage companies. And then I put some trekking poles on the tips of 2 of them. Some trekking pole tips at the end here. And these poles just slide in like that. And then, oh yeah, I also have them connected by like an elastic hairband I swiped from my wife or one of my daughters. And then I just take my little foam pad, sit pad here, fold it in half, and slide it into a little pocket here. And get this out of the way. Can sit down and camp right by the campfire or wherever I'm at, and just take these poles, flip them up, set them, and then I've got a nice little back rest here, back support. So this whole set weighs about 5 ounces, so not bad. It's really nice having that back support. So that's definitely one of my favorite items now, is being able to get into camp after a long day on the trail and be able to just kick back and enjoy some relaxation with this this back support here. Okay, so item number 2, I'm gonna go with this. It's a garbage bag, but it's not used for garbage. I've actually cut a little corner off the garbage bag to create a little hole. And what I have here is a top of like a Dasani water bottle that I cut off. And I've got the threads there. I sanded it down, smoothed out the edges. And what I use this for, if it's not obvious yet, is to blow up my sleeping pad, inflatable sleeping pad. I cut out a hole here in the top of the bottle cap, and then I can just connect it. I've got it sized just so it fits snugly around the nozzle to one of my inflatable sleeping pads. I've actually got another bag for a different pad with different kind of setup here, but very similar. And it's real nice just to be able to bag up the air and then squeeze it on in. And this weighs almost nothing, very light, and really didn't cost much. You know, it's probably a couple pennies of an expense, you know, in light of buying a box of regular garbage bags for your kitchen and a water bottle that you're done with. So yeah, it's like pennies to make and a little bit of time and effort, but and yeah, I usually just will actually smash that down into the stuff sacks with the sleeping bag, or I'll just put it somewhere else safe in my pack. And yeah, this is a lifesaver in some ways, because I hated that about inflatable sleeping pads, as comfortable as they were. It's just not fun blowing them up. You get to camp, you've been on the trail all day, and then you got to go to camp and blow out a bunch of breaths to blow up your sleeping pad and get lightheaded and dizzy and all that. And then it takes a lot longer that way. And then you've got this warm, moist air out of your lungs, and you know that can produce an environment for mildew to grow like over time, and the difference between your warm air and your lungs and the colder air as it's starting to get cold at night in a lot of places I'm at, it doesn't go well through the night. It usually ends up with a half inflated pad by the middle of the night or the next morning, and you have to blow it up again if you wake up in the middle of the night halfway on the ground. So I really like this. You know, it keeps ambient dry air, or uses the ambient dry air there, and I think it'll preserve the life of the sleeping pad over the long haul, and seems to do a little bit better with keeping the air inflated in the pad through the night. So okay, item number 3 is another bag. This is it's a odor proof bag made by a company called Backcountry. You can get them on Amazon, and I really like the peace of mind that these bags give me. They're obviously plastic and weigh almost nothing. But I like to line my food stuff sack with them, and then I put all my food in there, and then at night when I go to hang it, I'll put in, you know, other scented items as well. And so that just I'll also seal it up, of course, and then double it over, put a rubber band on or twisty tie, and you know, then I'm ready to hang it up And you know, not only does that seal in the odor while it's riding in my pack, I don't have to worry about food and strong smelling stuff and trash that I'm carrying from leaching out into other things in my pack itself. But also, there are times where I don't actually have a good place to hang a bag. It's the trees and some of the terrain I hike in, even though it's bear country, the trees just aren't high enough with big strong branches to hold a food bag and get a good bear hang up. And so there have been times where I've resorted to just trusting the odor proofness of the bag and just hanging this off a small branch lower down on the trunk of a tree, just to kind of keep it away from other nosy little rodents and critters. And so far it's worked. I've never had an issue with any critters or bears especially getting into my food or other scented items. All the times I've had to do that, which have been quite a few. And so I just, peace of mind is awesome for that bag, so I like it. Okay, fourth item, just a standard carabiner. I love how handy carabiners are. You can just clip all sorts of stuff on it, and I actually have a little system here where I carry little what are little essentials to me for any outdoor outing for me. So I've got a little extra little safety whistle here, or emergency whistle. I've got a little multi-tool here, Gerber dime, that I like to carry around. I've got a little tube of suntan, or sunscreen lotion. We've got a little thermometer here with a little tiny compass, and then I've got a little ultralight tripod that I like to carry around. Use this sometimes for setting up certain shots while I'm out on the trail with my camera that I'm shooting on. I've also got a little bungee cord thing on here that I like to use. I can use it to strap onto a tree branch or a trekking pole or something else like that. So really handy there. And then what I'll do with that, with this big master carabiner, is I'll just clip it onto the bottom of my shoulder strap while I'm out backpacking or out on the trail, whatever backpack I've got. And that makes all of that stuff here. Let's see. There we go. So that just makes it really convenient to access all of that while I'm out on the trail on the go, and it just transfers so easy from pack to pack. So that's part of the system I like. Got my nice little Wasatch Will studio going here. Okay, and on to item number 5. I have to say that I'm going to go with my InReach Explorer here. This is originally a Delorme product. Delorme was recently bought out a year or two ago by Garmin, and now Garmin's upgraded the device. So the new device that Garmin makes is really expensive. I looked at it, and comparing the specs between the two, besides a bigger screen and slightly different interface with the buttons on the new Garmin one, the Delorme one is practically the same in every way as far as battery life, menu system, the whole functionality and spec wise. It's virtually the same thing as the more expensive Garmin one, and course, they don't make these anymore since Garmin bought it out and rebranded it, and but they still service these old Delormes, and runs on the same software, same updates. So yeah, I found this on clearance, and for me it was still more expensive than a Spot, even on clearance closeout. But for me, it's worth the two-way communication. I've got not only my wife, but a lot of young kids at home, and a lot of different kinds of accidents could happen. A kid could get really sick. Just any kind of, you know, catastrophe or other tragic thing, or just, you know, maybe my wife just is getting really stressed out, having a like really bad time, and kids are just going bonkers, and if she needs me to cut my trip short, that is an option. That makes me feel better about knowing that she can communicate back to me with anything going on at home. And then, yeah, like I said, if needs be, I can head straight back down toward the trailhead, or cut trip short and get back home as soon as possible. I love also being able to pair this up with my phone, and then use my phone to send out text and receive communication back, as that's so much easier than trying to type with a little single type button here that you got to go through like a menu, and it's kind of like typing on a Roku remote. So yeah, so I like it, and I like the service plans. I'm on the flexible plan where I can suspend it for a few months during the winter, where I'm not out as often and not out in the backcountry so much, where I would really need this, and overnighting in areas where I don't already get cell service. But definitely through spring, summer, fall, where I'm getting out into the deserts and further out into the backcountry areas, definitely like having this. And not only that, but of course it's got the SOS feature, so if something really bad happens to myself, especially on solo trips, it's a nice peace of mind to know that I can just, with a push of a button, reach out to search and rescue services, and you know, get attention as needed. So, Delorme inReach Explorer, now owned by Garmin. Alright, so that's gonna wrap up my 5 favorite items for backpacking. I'd love to show off more, because once you start geeking out about gear and talking about gear, you just want to go on and on. But I'm gonna call it good there. To pass this along, I know a lot of other people have been tagging 3 to 5 people out there on their videos. You know, a lot of the people I would have tagged have already been tagged, and so I am going to just send this to one person. I'm going to call out Amos Prudhorn with his Backpacker Diaries channel. If you're watching this, Amos, you're up. Let's see if I'd like to see what your 5 favorite items are, if you'd like to participate in this. And to everyone else, go check his channel out. I really like his style of videos. He's not only informational with some of the trails he does and things like that, but he's also got a nice little cinematic flair that he likes to throw into his videos. I think he's got a brother that does some voiceover work for him, and does like little trailers before or after some of his videos, you know, giving it that cinematic, dramatic effect to it. And so yeah, so he's got a fun style going there, and I think a lot of you guys would enjoy some of his videos if you're not already subscribed to him. So there you go, Amos, and yeah, until next time, I'm gonna probably my next video, will end up being a trip that I'm going to plan to take my son down to the Moab area this coming weekend. And, well, this weekend actually. I'm going to take him down Monday night and stay through Tuesday after all the crowds leave. Since I have to work this weekend, I'll have Tuesday, Wednesday off. I work Monday morning. Go down there Monday afternoon and find a place to camp, and it's going to be a dinosaur themed trip because Linux loves dinosaurs, so we're going to go track down some dinosaur tracks. Might go to a semi-expensive, well, pretty expensive for what it is, a dinosaur museum, but for the two of us should be okay with the cost. So I'm sure he'll love that, and I'm excited to get him out on a trip after taking my girls out last month down to that Bluff Balloon Festival. So stay tuned for that video, guys, and we'll see you next time.